What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, and that means it's time to sip. Excuse me, sip. Oh yeah, and work on our skin. So today I am feeling a lot better than the previous week. Every single week it's getting better and better and better, and I am just taking it all in and truly enjoying it. Just, reassessing, continuing to grow and learning what works for me. Just like what works for my skin may not work for your skin, but it's working for your girl because these pores are snatched, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up our random word generator. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's a good one. Hold on, can you guys see it? Welcome. Oh, okay. Welcome. Let's see. Welcome. Okay, so I will say that one of the things that I thought was really funny was when I first switched into a management position at my job. I got a great opportunity to do some training with our corporate educational specialist. She's literally the woman that goes school to school training us on how to basically do our jobs and to do a really good job of it. And one of the things that I really enjoyed in our session was that she knew where I was from, which she did her homework, which was cool, but she also talked about how in the South we are all about hospitality, and that made me feel really good because a lot of times when people from other places reference the South, they're normally talking about how asking weird questions like, do we wear shoes? And, do we all sound like this? Where we come from? Are we out here just tending to pigs and horses and cattle? And, the only thing we talk about is Jesus. We're not all like that. I mean, there's a lot of that is foundational for everyone, but we are far more diverse than that. Give us a little bit of credit, Anyway, but I thought it was really cool because she was talking about different ways for us to connect with staff. And she said, I just know you've got some good ideas for hospitality and different ways that, we could improve on making the family so welcome in the building, making the staff feel happy about coming to work. And that just made me feel really good that that was something that we were recognized for, because I always want people to feel welcome. That is literally part of my job, where I want the parents to feel connected. And one of the things that is kind of unique about this situation right now is that we are living in a time where we're not able to have that. So one of the things we do at my job is curbside. So it is literally my job to make our parents feel welcome and connected in our building when we don't have that. We're not doing outside events. We're still having the events, but they are strictly for the students. And the only way that we are really connecting to those families is by, sending lots and lots of photos so they're able to see what we're doing. I send a weekly newsletter, just reminding the parents, hey, this is what your kids did this week. They really enjoyed this activity, that kind of thing. And so it just made me really think about how different the times are, how special it is to have this position that literally forces me to be creative and making people feel connected and welcome and invited in a time where that's just so hard. So I think part of what I would like to, get across today is just making sure that you're continuing to have those connections in a time where it is so difficult, when people, are feeling unsafe. They're not able to be physically in people's presence all the time. They're not able to gather in large groups. And you're really retraining yourself on different types of socialization. I know I've got one eye open, but I always get nervous when I have soap on my face. And there's one eye that always feels more safe than the other. So that is definitely something that I feel like everybody is struggling and trying to come to terms with right now. Just making sure that people feel those connections. One of the things that I've done recently is to have a virtual girls' night with my friends. I have pushed myself to be more inviting and welcoming people into my life that I work with, because the reality is that I am more connected to them probably than anyone right now, because you know, things are so intimate now with the way that we're running our building. And it makes a big difference. You know, you can say all day like you don't desire to have a connection with the people that you work with, but ultimately you do become a family because you're kind of in a war together. Not necessarily a war like you're working in a bad place or something like that, but you know, you're in the same fight, and that builds a connection whether you acknowledge it or not. So being welcoming is more than just putting a welcome mat outside your door and saying, hey, if you come knock, I won't chase you off with a broom. That is something that happens in the South. Or a shotgun. Don't tell them I told you, but just don't be popping up at people's houses, okay? But, you know, you want people to feel welcome. You want them to feel invited. And then when they do take it upon themselves to try to build that connection, you can't shove them off and then be like, I don't know why you showed up. Well, probably because you invited them to be a part. Calm down. But I feel like, you know, there just needs to be a certain level of maturity when it comes to how you welcome people into your life, how you choose to allow them to be a part, and still protecting your, you know, your peace. You know, you don't want to welcome everybody because everybody is not meant to be a part of your safe space. And that's just the reality. You know, you never want people to feel like they can take advantage of just you and, you know, your care for yourself. So being mindful of relationships, but also not pushing everyone away, just makes your life for such a richer experience. You want to have those relationships. I've told you guys before, I am super closed off when it comes to building relationships, because I was so blessed to have my biological family, my adopted family, my extra siblings, my church family, and because my life was filled with, you know, so many people in my life that I knew truly loved and supported me, moving was, I don't want to say traumatic, but it was definitely eye-opening. It was a completely different experience that I don't know if I was ever really just truly prepared for, because it was just so different. The vibe was different, the people were different, and West Coast people, I don't know, like, that's a whole vibe that it was, I'll say this, okay, let me stop yammering. I'll say this. It was literally like moving to a place where everybody physically acted like what my inner self is. And that can definitely be a scary thing. But yeah, so moving here was a reality check more than anything, because it was like, okay, now you get to see kind of what other people have been dealing with for all of these years. And, you know, you never want to be the one to have to admit, okay, maybe I was too standoffish. But I definitely was. I was, you know, protecting myself because it was such a big, welcoming, loving environment. you know, you do have a tendency to let your guard down and trust people that, you know, sometimes will hurt you. And not to say that everybody is out to hurt you, okay? They're not. But it was more about hurt people. And realizing that those people were not always in a place to accept a healthy relationship. And so because of that, you know, things happen. So it turned me off from welcoming people into my life, because it was like, okay, if I welcome them, they've got about, I don't know, 6 months before they mess it up. And if they mess it up, then, you know, I was right. I was right all along. I didn't have to welcome them. I didn't have to be nice to them, And you turn jaded, and, you know, that's just not a healthy way to live. But that's what happened. So it taught me a lot. The move taught me a lot about myself. A lot about who I want to be, about who I no longer needed to be. And it wasn't just the move. It was a move. It was marriage. It was sharing a household with someone, sharing a life with someone, sharing responsibilities with someone. And for a person that is not super trusting at all, life-altering, okay? Completely life-altering. But you never want to push away the ability to be open about welcoming people. Be open about accepting positive energies into your life. If I had stayed the way that I was, I wouldn't have created some of the best friendships that I have right now. And, you know, that means a lot. It is important to have people in your life that you can lean on, that you can make you laugh when you need that day, that can be a shoulder when you need to cry. And if you're constantly pushing and not welcoming, then you end up being all by yourself. And who wants that, you know? Unless it's a really nice momcation where no one is asking you where their socks are or if you've seen their latest toy. Well, that's going to do it for today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that bell so you're notified when I post again. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for coming into my area, being welcomed into my life, and for watching this video. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week. Bye.